Hello 8th grade, welcome to lesson 54. Today we are going to work on modified block personal business letters. Today we will learn to set left, right, center, and decimal tabs, insert the date and time, set tabs, and insert date and times, key a modified block personal business letter with indented paragraphs, key a modified block personal business letter with a list, compose a modified block business letter. So 54A, tabs are set locations at which text can be placed. By default, a left tab is set every 1/2 inch on the ruler, and text appears to the right of it as you key if one or more manual tabs have not been set. Other tabs include right tabs, they look like this. Center tabs, they look like this on the ruler. Decimal tabs look like this. So you set tabs using the ruler and the tab selection box. The tab selection box is this little box over here to the left side of your screen. Alright, so we're going to practice setting tabs. So you'll need to open up a blank Word document. And you want to verify that the ruler is displayed. If it is not, you will need to turn on the ruler by clicking the View tab and checking the ruler box right here under the Show group. Okay, you can see my tab selector box over here, and I can see my ruler. It says set the following tabs on the ruler. So first we need a left tab. So here's the left tab. If I hold my mouse over the top of it, I will get a screen tip that tells me what it is called. So I want it to say left tab. And basically I'm going to click at the 1 inch mark. So I'm going to click where the 1 is. So that's a left tab. Then I'm going to change it to a center tab. So I'm just going to click on the tab selector once. Okay, if I hold my mouse over the top, it should say center tab now. And I'm going to click at the 2.5 inch mark. Okay, followed by a right tab. If I hold my mouse over the top, it should say right tab. And I'm going to click on the 4 inch mark right here. And lastly, I need a decimal tab. So one more click should get me to the decimal tab. There we see it says decimal, and I'm going to click at the 5 inch mark. It says to key the following text from left to right using the tab key to move from one column to the next. Begin the first column at the left tab, second column at the center, third at the right, and fourth at the decimal. Tap enter at the end of each line. Your copy should look like figure 6-13. So it should look like the picture that looks like this. So on page 219 in your book, it tells you what you should type. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the tab key on my keyboard, and I'm going to type the name Maryland, tab Polk High, tab February, tab 1.2345, then I'll hit enter. Notice that with the left alignment, it starts at the left indent. Center alignment, it's centered on this indent. Right, it's to the right of my indent. And then we have the decimal, and it basically just centers it wherever you have your decimal point in a number figure. So I'm going to hit enter, and then we'll hit tab again. Sue, tab with the keyboard, Washington, High, tab, May, tab, 1234.5, enter. Christopher, tab, Lincoln, High, tab, August, tab, 0.12345. Alright, so we'll hit enter and then tab, Jack, Wilson, High, tab, September, tab, 123.45. Okay, so that's how you use the tab stops. Alright, so we're going to save this as in our Keyboarding 8 folder, Chapter 6. We'll name it 54A tabs. Oops, this is TANs. Tabs. Save. And then it says close the document. So next we're going to insert the date and the time feature on 54B. The date and time feature is used to insert the date and/or time in a document. This feature can be helpful when you are keying letters and other documents that have dates. You can select the format for the date and time. You can select an option to have the date and time updated automatically each time the file is opened. The date and time command is found on the Insert tab in the text group. So we're going to open up another blank Word document. Okay. And it says to use the date and time feature to insert today's date on line 1. Alrighty, so we're going to go to Insert tab. And we're going to choose date and time. So on line 1, we're going to choose the format that is used to key the date in letters. Choose to not have the date updated automatically. Alright, so the format that's used for letters is going to be this third choice. It's going to spell out the month, then the day, comma, then followed by the year. We're not going to select update automatically. If we do, every time that you open it, the date will change. So we're going to just leave it as today's date. Okay. Step, it says press enter twice. So we're going to hit enter key twice. Step 3 says to use the date and time feature and select the format that will show the month, /day, /year, and time in hours, minutes, and seconds. So we'll choose date and time. Alright. We're going to find the one that allows us to it'll be this one right here, the one that has the month, day, year, and then the hour, minute, seconds right there. It says to choose to have the date and time updated automatically, so we're going to click the check mark. The current date and time should appear in your document. We'll click OK. It says write the minutes and seconds on a piece of paper so you'll remember that time. So just remember that your time might look different than mine based on when we do this, but the time is right here, 2:29:46 p.m. Okay, we're going to save the document. So go to Save As in our Chapter 6 folder. We will name it 54B date. We're going to save it and then we're going to close out. Step 5 says to open up that document. I'm just going to use my recent files right here. Okay, and notice that our time here has changed. The day hasn't changed because it's still the same day, but the time has definitely changed. Alrighty, so alright, so we're going to, once you have the seconds listed down here, you've done some of the math. Remember that the reason I changed it to 3.226 seconds is because there's only 60 seconds in a minute, so you kind of have to do a little thinking to figure out how many seconds that makes. So we were going to save this as, in our chapter 6 folder, as 54C practice. And we're going to move on to lesson 54D. We can close out of this document. We're going to open up a new Word document. Alright. Next, we're going to be using a modified block personal business letter. So, you have learned to keep personal business letter using block format. In block format, all lines begin at the left margin. In a modified block format, the lines begin at or near the center and are the return address, date, complimentary close, type signature, and type title if it is included. In addition, the first line of each paragraph may be indented 0.5 inches in a modified block letter. All other lines begin at the left margin. The line spacing before and after the letter parts is the same as for a block letter. It says to refer to model copy on page 221 to view a personal business letter arranged in modified block. Notice the copy notation at the bottom left of the letter. If a copy notation is used, it is placed after the type name, title, or enclosure notation, whichever is the last part of the letter. So here is as a version of what the modified block letter looks like. Notice that the sender address is tabbed in 3 inches. We have a 0.5 inch indent. The complimentary close and the type signature are also indented 3 inches. Alright, so we are going to open up a new blank Word document. And we are going to set the left tabs, make sure it says left tab, at the 0.5 inch mark and at the 3 inch mark. And it tells us to key model copy on page 221 as a personal business letter in modified block format with indented paragraphs and open punctuation. Alrighty. So, first things first, it says margins, vertical line spacing, and horizontal line spacing for a modified block letter are the same as a block letter except as noted. So first of all, we need to start at the 2 inch mark, which is about right there. So make sure it says 1.9 down here at the bottom. We're going to hit tab twice. Okay, and then we'll type in the address. Okay, when we get to the end of the line, we're going to hit Shift Enter. And we're going to hit tab twice. Type the city. Shift Enter, tab twice, and then type the date. Okay, so we're going to hit the Enter key twice, and then we're going to type the address down here. Oops, and then we have to Shift Enter. Shift Enter. Shift Enter. Then we'll hit Enter. Open punctuation means that there is no colon after the salutation. Hit Enter and then Tab to type in the paragraph. So go ahead and type the rest of this letter. Notice that there, as I type, sometimes I make some errors. It's quicker and easier to go back and fix them at the end of typing your letter. For example, right here, it is wanting me to reorder my sentence. For this purpose, though, I'm just going to ignore, although this is a little bit more grammatically correct. We're just going to ignore ones. Once you're down here at the end, we're going to hit Enter and then hit Tab twice. Type sincerely. And because we're using open punctuation, I'm not putting a comma at the end. I'm going to hit Enter twice, hit Tab twice, type in the name, and then it's actually Shift Enter, Tab twice, Calculus, Calculus Club Secretary, and then we'll hit Enter without hitting Shift Enter, just Enter. We'll put in the C and then Tab, Miss Eggleston. Okay. So, I just want to turn on the show hide buttons here for just a minute. So you should see these little arrows, which means that we hit Shift Enter to go to the next line in between here and then as well as right here. You don't want the extra space in between your address lines. We only want that extra space in certain areas. Okay. So back to the directions, it says on step 3 that we need to use Find and Replace. So I'm going to turn on the Find and Replace button, and we're going to change Calc to Calculus. I'm just going to hit Replace. Okay, be careful not to replace words that, which I just did right here. We'll hit Find Next. I believe you only wanted to change it once, so I'm gonna get rid of this right here. And then it tells us to print preview to check for accuracy of the format and proofread and correct all errors. So if I want to go to print preview, if I go to layout, actually let's go to view, review. Geez, I'm trying to remember design. We'll go to file, print. And print preview is right here. So this shows us exactly what our document will look like when it's printed. I'd say it looks pretty good for now. So then we're going to go and we're going to save as in our chapter 6 folder as 54D letter. We'll save and then close it. Alright, so you guys are going to be doing 54E and D on your own. You're going to open a new blank document and key the following letter in modified block format without indented paragraphs. So this time, instead of indenting 0.5 inches for your paragraphs, you're going to leave them set at left align. You are going to set a left tab at 1.5 inch mark and a right tab at the 5 inch mark to key the list of plants. Insert the date so that it automatically updates. And you're going to check spelling and grammar and proofread the letter carefully. So on page 222 you'll see the letter that you'll need to type. And we're using modified block, so you'll still want to look at page 221 to see what it should look like. However, you are using an indent inside your letter to key the parts, the list where it says scientific name and common name. And you're also inserting the date so that it automatically updates. So a reminder to do that, you go to insert, whoops, wrong button, date and time, and you will make sure it says update automatically. Okay. For 54D, or sorry, 54F, you are going to type a modified block letter, but you're going to compose it to me. So for this, if you you will want to set it at 0.5 inch mark and the 3 inch mark, and we will start it at the 2 inch mark, but you will put your address right here. We need to do shift enter, tab, your city, state, and zip right here, then the date, okay, and then you will type in my address, shift enter, just using the school address, shift enter, Utica 68456. Okay, enter Dear Mrs. Pancoke. Let's see. And then we're just going to do open punctuation for this, so you don't need to put any colon at the end of the salutation. And then for the body, you guys are going to tell me about a place you'd like to visit for a class field trip. Give the name and location, describe the place, and explain why you think this would be a good place for your class to visit. After you're done, you're going to check spelling and proofread the letter carefully, correct any errors, use the preview screen to check the format of the letter, and save it as 54F letter. So, after you type your body, you're going to hit the tab key twice to type in sincerely, enter, enter, tab, tab, and then your name right here. Okay, so that's how it should look, your document. Good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.